after my sister married, my older brother and sister, it just left me and my younger brother there, and I had to take over cooking breakfast, and we always had biscuit, butter, and molasses for breakfast from the time I can remember until I left home. And sometimes we could eat the bread, and sometimes we ate it because we didn't have anything else to eat with the butter and molasses. And so it was my job to milk the cows. We had 2 cows, and I was starting courting in that time. I was up 6 years old or 7. But on Sunday, I'd go home with my girlfriend from church and spend the afternoon. But I always get back home in time to have to milk them cows before the sun went down. And so this is the type of thing that was daily life in my growing up. We had the same thing to eat all day long as I was at home. We'd have biscuits, molasses, and eggs. We growed our own wheat, and we'd take the wheat to the mill, and instead of grinding it, the miller would weigh it and figure his toll and give us enough flour to compensate for our wheat. And then we'd eat cornbread with our vegetables. We didn't have a lot of meat. We growed our own hogs. Once in a while we'd kill a calf if we had one, and that would be about our limit of meat. And then at supper, we would always have cornbread and milk and for supper, and that was our diet as long as we lived. It was good food, but not exactly a proper diet. And so I think getting on regular meals and a proper diet is what I contribute my long life to. I have lived a fairly clean life, especially after I got married. I've had a boss. When Mama would cook dinner, whenever she got lunch cooked, she'd stuff the old stove with another stuffing of wood and make up her cornmeal dough, put it in the old cast iron skillet, and put it in the stove and close the door and forget it. And at supper time, we'd go to the cellar and get our jug of cool milk, which was the morning's milk from the cows, and we'd crumble that cornbread in it and eat it. And that was actually pretty good eating. In the wintertime, we always had a fire in the fireplace and a bed of hot coals in there. And Mama had a cast iron pan she called a Dutch oven. It had legs on it about 1.5 inches long, and it had a lid that fit on top with a rim around it, about 1 inch high, and it had a loop in the top of it till you reach with a hook and pick it up when it was hot. Because these old people used to cook in the fireplace, and that's what that pan was designed for. And she would sometimes cook cornbread in that pan, and she would drag out a bed of red coals to the edge of the fireplace and sit that Dutch oven in it and pour the dough in it, put the lid on it, and pile hot coals on the top of it. And it'd cook, and the bread would taste different and be good. And she's also cooked cakes of cornbread in that. She'd bake sweet potatoes in that. And she'd just do that during the afternoon when she was busy around the house. And it didn't take much to take care of it, but it was a way of cooking, and it produced a different tasting food that was real good. I enjoyed it. Food that was cooked in the old Dutch oven.